Alrighty, here's a bite about establishing a rhythm when topwater fishing. It's the rhythm in a topwater bait that attracts bass. How you retrieve this bait determines the rhythm and can make a tremendous difference in your success or failure. The length of the jerk or pull and the length of the pause determines rhythm. It's amplified by how loud or quiet the bait is worked on the water. Once you establish the rhythm that spark strikes, stick with it. Now, this can change frequently during the day and from one location to the next. This can be caused by water temperature changes, weather factors, and even the amount of wind on the water. There's no doubt about it. The rhythm and the way you work, retrieve a topwater bait is what attracts and catches bass. Traditionally, bass fishing has been a shoreline affair, and even deep water structure fishermen make occasional visits to this inviting form of landscape. You know, there's just something exciting about working along a bank, especially when you're fishing it with a topwater lure. Perhaps it's a constant anticipation that the dark little notch between the bush and that stump next to it will produce a nice-sized bass. Maybe it's just the pleasure and the solitude of being close to the shore, listening to the many sounds and watching all the little critters that live there or close by. There we go. Oh boy. Whoa, look here. Better fish right there. Where you going? Oh yeah. That's a pretty fair one. Come on back here, buddy. Ooh, he's better than I thought. He is much better than I thought. Come on back here. Let me get my hands in your face. That little pop-R. Oh, ah, boy, you hurt my hand. Come here. Come up here. Yes, sir. You got hooks all in your little face. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Now that one fooled me. I thought he was smaller than he was. See ya. Yes, sir-ree. Okay, something that's important to this type of fishing is pinpoint accuracy. Being able to drop a lure exactly where you want it to land is a big part of the fun and the excitement of fishing the bank, and it'll produce more fish for you in the long run. Let me see if I can get out of this stuff. Get out of the bushes, Bill. Nothing is more frustrating to a shoreline fisherman than the constant need to ease into the bushes or trees to untangle a lure that's crocheted around an overhanging limb. Believe me. Oh, look at here. Oh, that's good in there. Come on, buddy. Woo! Look at the size of that. Yeah. Tough fish. All right, come on, you've had it. Don't want to quit. You sounded like a mule when you hit. Whoppo. Pretty little fish. Look at that. Okay, thank you. Now this bite takes us topside. Here's the question. Bill, I've only been fishing topwater baits for about a year now, but I'm experiencing major problems with these lures. I can't count the times I've had bass only swirl the bait and not take it. What causes this? Well, more times than not, if the fish are only coming up and swirling your offering, you're probably fishing the wrong color, size, or the presentation that you're using is not just quite right. Here's what you need to do. You need to experiment. Let the fish tell you what they want. The more you experiment, the more you'll learn, and in the long run, the more fish you're going to catch. Topside. Okay, let me show you perhaps my most productive retrieve with a popper type bait. Normally, I have my best success by casting the lure. Now, once it hits the surface, what I do, I allow it to sit a second or two. Then I begin to work it with 3 short popping jerks. Then I allow it to rest. In other words, the presentation is 3 pops, a pause, and then a lot of times I'll go pop, 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 let it sit, and then I'll pop it again. 3 short jerks, and then I'll let it rest, and then I'll pop it again. Pop, 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 rest, pop. Or pucka, 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 pause, pucka. Calmer water, I don't jerk it as hard. If I got a chop on the water, I really pop it. Speaking of action a minute ago, let's spend a minute and discuss speed. Now, as far as retrieve speed goes, normally you'll find that the faster, more erratic retrieve works better, let's say in late spring to early fall when bass are bunched up and aggressively chasing shad. At other times of the year, you gotta alter your presentation to coincide with the conditions, location, and the mood of the fish. Now, sometimes it's fast, other times it's slow. Sometimes loud, sometimes quiet. Just got to experiment. You know, there are over 30 different popper chugger models on the market today, and believe me, they'll all catch fish, but some produce considerably better than others. You gotta always remember to experiment with different presentations when fishing lures of this type, simply because the personality of the bass changes so often. What worked an hour ago may continue to work all day, but it could change on your next cast. Once you find the best retrieve, stick with it until you feel it's not going to produce any longer. Then again, with different presentations until the fish tell you what they like best. Something as simple as a fast, slow, fast to pause, or a slow, fast, slow to pause can make the difference. Now stay on there, boy. Stay on there. These pliers and get you unhooked here, like that. Something else to consider about your presentation is the area of the lake that you're fishing. How the fish react to your lure in one section of the lake may be totally different at another location. There's reasons for this. It could be water temperature, water clarity, type of cover, type of forage, structure, pH, wind, depth, time of day, and even the time of year. That's why you should always be thinking about that all-important word, experiment. Talking about experimenting, it's not a waste of time. You learn from it. The more you do something, the better you get at it. Only if you have the desire and the determination. Watch those hooks. There we go. Woo! There we go. You liked that thing too, didn't you? Fat and chunky. Fat and chunky. See ya. Now here's a good question about surface lures. What's the best conditions for topwater fishing? Well, for me, the best conditions call for three important elements. For water temperature above 65 degrees, a clear water situation, and a slight ripple on the surface. However, topwater lures produce well when it's flat calm or windy. You really need to adapt with your lure choices and presentations. Alrighty, here's another little tidbit that'll help you with your presentation, and that's your line size. Now, for better control, a line test of, let's say, 15-pound test or greater works best, especially when the lure is worked quickly. Even when the lure is fished slowly, lighter pound test lines affect the bait from producing the proper popping sound, simply because lighter weight lines sink faster and cause the popper to dig in. Something else that's important when fishing these types of baits is a comfortable rod position that allows for effective and effortless retrieves. Naturally, this may vary from fisherman to fisherman. For best results, most anglers prefer to start with the rod tip high, gradually lowering it as the lure gets closer. Or a better one, had it swallowed. He had bait was all the way down in his mouth. Easy now. Oh, get my pliers. Okay, hold it, buddy. One more. Those little hooks are the stickinest things. Little potted thing. Bye-bye. Yep, that one fooled me. Okay, something I forgot to mention. Throughout your cast, it's smart to maintain a degree of slack in your line. And what this does, it'll help prevent setting the hook too quickly. Now, I'm real smart on that because I do it too. I'm not good at preaching what I say. But, in fact, it's best to never set the hook until you feel the fish. Now, when it comes to rod lengths and actions, a good choice is a 6.5 to 7 footer with a medium action, fast taper with a soft tip. This type of rod will help tremendously in working the lure instead of the lure working you. Ask yourself this question: does the lure require a tremendous amount of work and concentration to fish it properly? If your answer is yes, then you're trying too hard, overpowering the bait, or using too light a line and too stiff a rod. As I mentioned earlier, use at least 15-pound test or heavier line and a rod that has a soft tip, fast taper, and a medium action. This rod should allow the popper to respond and rebound between jerks and provide plenty of backbone for a good hook set and fight. Come here. Now say for me. Come up here. I'll let you jumping. Pretty fine. You got one right in there. You got one right there. Say happy anniversary. Look at that. Isn't that something? Woo! What a great day. Let me tell you, if you want to have more fun and excitement than you can stand, what you need to do is get yourself a few of these pop-arts. You won't be sorry. Again, happy anniversary to a great little lure. 50 years and going strong. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.